Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Start U of G session on living at university. My name is Jenny Danes, and I use she and her pronouns. And I'm part of the Start team who's here to help you folks prepare for coming to the University of Guelph in fall 2023. We're really excited to have you all here to talk about where you're going to be living, whether that be off campus, commuting from your home, or living in residence. We hope you find today's session really informative. I want to begin with a land acknowledgement. So it's with great respect that the START team recognizes and acknowledges that the University of Guelph resides on the traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe people and the treaty lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit. So land is a gathering space to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. And this acknowledgement reminds us of our relationship to this land, where we all are connected and learning and growing. As a new Griffin, it's incredibly important to understand why we do land acknowledgements, and you'll hear them at many of our events and meetings on campus, and why we do them. So we encourage you to visit the University of Guelph's Land Acknowledgement website, which we'll post a link in the chat for you. And this website has a lot of really great resources and a wonderful video that's beautifully illustrated that explains the importance of land acknowledgements and why we do them. So whether you are living at home, you're going to be in the city of Guelph, commuting to campus, or in residence, today's session is for you. I'm very excited to welcome some lovely folks from Housing and Residence Life Services and Student Housing Services, and from our off-campus living department. They're going to provide us a lot of information about the support and services they offer, as well as some things that you folks should think about before you arrive or move in September. We'll start off with a general session where we'll talk about our community values and what we value as part of being a Griffin. We will talk about different eating on campus, different options, and how to pay for food on campus. We'll also talk about getting to campus and transportation around the city of Guelph. And then we'll have a breakout session. So for students living in residence, you will stay in this Teams link. You don't have to go anywhere. And then for our students living off campus or commuting and maybe living at home, we will have a breakout room for you. So come that time, you'll see a breakout link in the chat, and it's going to take you to a general Zoom meeting or Teams meeting, where you'll be greeted by June and Juliet and Megan, and they'll give you some wonderful tips about living off campus. If you folks have any questions, you'll see on the side of your screen a question and answer feature. This can be used, and we encourage you to ask questions about any experience. If your question is very specific, we may ask you to email us at Start on Campus to help get you the answer. But please, we encourage you to ask questions, and no question is a silly question. So let's jump in with our talking about Griffins Values. So regardless of where you live, you are always and now considered a Griffin, which is really exciting, and we're excited to share our Griffins Values with you today. It is important to remember this when you're in our community, in our residence community, on campus, and also when you're off campus, that you are viewed as a Griffin. Our Griffin spirit is embodied by 5 core commitments that ground our actions and interactions in Guelph, in the community, and beyond our campus. So they are respectful and caring, determined to do our best, engaged both inside and outside of the classroom, and authentic to our true selves. There are also policies put in place on campus that set out our guidelines and how Griffins should interact within the communities that they live. So for resident students, there is the community living standards. These exist to help support you in your community and also help you grow and learn about your own personal wellness. So we'll pop that link in the chat, and you'll hear a little bit more about that later. For students living off campus, there is also a community standards protocol, which helps to set guidelines for students to make sure all students in the community in the city of Guelph and beyond feel comfortable, safe, and respected. So we'll also put that in the chat for you folks to look at as well. But now I would like to welcome one of the orientation team members, Josh, to chat about eating on campus and what that looks like.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Josh. I'm on the orientation team and I go by he, him pronouns, and I'm going to tell you all a little bit about eating on campus. So your campus card, which is your student ID card, is your payment method for dining purchases on campus as well as for shopping at the university bookstore and other locations on campus. If you choose to add a textbook plan to your meal plan as well at the bookstore. The on-campus meal plans are offered in 5 different sizes, and they are mandatory for students living in traditional residences, but there are options for students living in East and West residences and East Village townhouses. We offer 5 sizes of on-campus meal plans to suit every need, and the cost covers both the fall and winter semesters. Students receive half of their food dollars at the beginning of September and the other half in mid-December. The Ultra Food Plan is designed specifically for University of Guelph students living off campus in the East Residence, West Residence, or the East Village townhouses. The Ultra Food Plan also provides a 10% discount plus 8% HST savings on food purchases in all of our hospitality locations. The minimum deposit required for the Ultra Food Plan is $300, but you can add as much money as you'd like and whenever you'd like using our online account services. The Ultra Food Plan, with or without the textbook plan, is part of your campus card. To pay for a purchase using your campus card, you just tap your card at the card reader at the cashier and the appropriate amount will be deducted from your plan and your balance will appear. Without your campus card, you'll have to pay with another means of payment, debit or credit. You cannot transfer a cash purchase to your Ultra Food Plan and you cannot get a cash refund from your plan. Our food on campus has been voted the #1 food service in Canada for over 10 years by Maclean's magazine. Our menus include vegetarian, vegan, kosher, halal, gluten-free, and peanut and nut-free and lactose-free choices. We also offer homemade comfort foods and international cuisine with extensive freshly prepared salad bars and specialty desserts from Creelman Bake Shop. There is also a dietitian on campus who can help you learn more about foods that work for you or can help you select options on campus based on various food needs. So now I'm going to transition it over to Megan, who's also on the orientation team, who's going to tell you a little bit about transportation on campus.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Megan. I'm also on the orientation team. My pronouns are she and her. And I'm going to talk a little bit about transportation on campus. So transit is a great way to get around the city of Guelph, and a lot of students who live on and off campus decide to use the bus to get around. So your student card doubles as a bus pass, and if you're registered for in-person courses, a portion of your student fees is used to cover the cost of that. And you also have unlimited rides in the city of Guelph with that, so you can get on any bus that is with Guelph Transit. And we're going to post a link to the Central Student Association's website for you to look at that if you're more curious about the bus pass and that plan, because they sort of cover that for us. You can also check out the bus routes that you'll be able to make to your classes, so you can see sort of when they're coming and where they're going at the different stops. And we're also going to be posting that for you, so you can take a look at the schedules. That would be useful if you're living off campus and on campus. We also have a new on-demand bus service with the City of Guelph, and it allows you to book rides on an app. So we'll link that in the chat for you as well. And if you have any other questions about traveling to campus or from campus on the bus, you can email off-campus living, and we'll post that in the chat for you as well. They're ocl@uofguelph.ca. And if you're an off-campus student, you can learn more about that in our breakout session afterwards. And lastly, one other thing I'd like to mention is the Go Transit, which serves the Greater Toronto area. So popular GO Transit terminals with routes to and from the university include Square One, Highway 407 bus terminal, Union Station, Brampton, Hamilton through a transfer, and then Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge. And if you have a Presto account, university students receive 40% off. So we're going to post that in the chat for you as well. But that's all from me, and we're going to hand it back over to Jenny.
Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you to you both for sharing some great information on eating on campus and how to get around the city of Guelph as well. So now it's time to do some breakout sessions. So these sessions really are for you and dependent on where you plan on living come the fall. So if you are going to be living in residence, please stay in this session. You don't have to do anything. Stay comfy in your seat. Don't click on anything. Just stay here and you are good. If you are going to be living off campus or commuting in from outside of the city of Guelph or living at home, feel free. We're going to post a link in the chat with another breakout room. You're going to click that link and head on over there to meet with June and Juliet and Megan, and they will greet you for the off-campus session. So we will wait just for a few minutes here. So the link that Megan just posted in the chat, that is the off-campus link there. We'll give it a few minutes to have some folks head over to that link and join June and Juliet. If folks are having any issues getting into that link, please let me know and we can help you as well. All right, so let's get started then as folks continue to move over to the resident side of the presentation. So I will turn it over to Leanne.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, future Griffins. Happy to be here. Glad you have joined us today. I am joined here today by several of my colleagues. We're going to tell you everything you need to know to prepare for your new life on campus in September as a Griffin. We know that one of the most exciting things right now is the release of room assignments this week. We'll start with that. We'll give you a little bit more information, more about moving in, what to pack, how to prepare for orientation. We've got a whole agenda for you, and then we'll have an open Q&A. So that's kind of the lay of the land for the next little while. But let's get started and we'll introduce ourselves. My name is Leanne. I'm the Manager of Admissions and Marketing here in Student Housing Services at the University of Guelph. I am a University of Guelph graduate, did my master's here, and I've been working and proud to be part of the community in student housing, working busy on assignments, but I have a whole team that I've been working with, and they will introduce themselves as well. We'll start with our Interhall Council President.
Hello everyone, my name is Kiara Lotu. I'm the Interhall Council President. Interhall Council is the resident student government. I really look forward to meeting you all this fall. A little bit about myself is that I'm a 5th year in human kinetics, and over the summer I've been working really hard to make sure that orientation programming within residence and your welcome to residence just goes off really well in the fall. So I'll hand it over to Adia.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Adia. I'm going into my 2nd year as a psychology student. Currently in the summer, I'm working with summer admissions and helping you with the assignments. And I'm also going to be an RA in fall, and I'm going to be in South Residence. So if you get it, I'll see you in South Residence.
Great, thanks, Kiara and Adia. We are been very busy this summer. As you're probably on this call because you have been offered a space in residence, and we're very pleased that we have been able to offer not only all on-time applicants, but we've also been able to offer late applicants and some upper year students as well. So we are going to have a full house for September, and we have started a waiting list. So if you do have friends that haven't applied to residence yet, it is a small waiting list, and we'll continue to use it through the summer, but we will open in September with a full house. Assignments are probably what's causing you the most stress right now. Where am I going to live? What building am I going to be in? Did I get the roommate that I asked for? What type of room am I going to be living in? We know it's very exciting, but also very stressful. So we've been working hard for the last 6 weeks. Our assignments are about 99% done. We're just doing some balancing of assignments, and we will be releasing them on Thursday. On Friday, WebAdvisor goes live. WebAdvisor is your student accounting. It's where you're doing your course registrations, and your residence fees will go onto your student account on that day. So we'll release room assignments the day before. We want to let you know in this session how we do room assignments. So really quickly, everything is based on a lottery system. So for example, if we have 4,000 applicants, everyone is assigned a random computer-generated lottery number 1 through 4,000. Then we start doing assignments. If you're number 1, you get your first choice. Number 2, you get your first choice. And until we start to run out of the more popular choices. So there are 4 factors that go into the success of getting one of your preference. The first factor is your lottery number, of course. The second thing is what it is you asked for. So if you asked for one of the more popular choices, that Lambton Suite being the most popular, then we're going to run out of those faster. The third criteria is how many other people asked for the exact same thing, because again, those preferences will go faster. And the fourth is how many of those things we have. If we only have a limited number of the thing that you asked for, again, they're going to go and be assigned quicker. So not everyone is going to get their first choice is the moral of the story. And we know from experience that students are happy wherever they live, that the community you build is more important than the bricks and mortar of the place that you're assigned. We do factor into your roommate requests. So I believe every student who asked for a specific roommate, got that roommate if they both had their applications in on time. So that's good news. If you didn't get one of your preferences, that is possible. About 10% of students don't get one of their preferences. And again, that just goes to lottery number and demand. If there's a specific reason, if there's a medical reason, we should already have your documentation. So we would do transfers for those reasons only. We ask that you fit into your community, that you move in, that you meet the people around you, that you settle in and make it your home. And if you're still not meshing with your community, we do have transfer requests that open up on September 20th, where when we have vacancies, we have a little bit more wiggle room to move people around. So when room assignments are released, we hope you're happy with your assignment and you can start to plan for your move-in. It's an exciting time. When you get your room assignment, we will send you an email, and the email will have your room assignment and the room type on it. You can then log into the housing portal and you can see your roommates or your suite mates, and their University of Guelph email address is also on the portal, so you can start connecting to the people that you're going to be living with. We will also send you a move-in guide, a link on our website to our move-in guide, and that move-in guide will give you loads of information about what to bring, packing items, how to navigate the portal, residence community living standards, everything you need to know. So let's talk a little bit more about move-in. I think we'll go to the next slide. Residents move-in. Yes, exciting. Residents move-in September 1st and 2nd. We will have limited move-in on August 31st for specific residences where we have some traffic jams. What you will get when you get your email next week after the move-in guide is released, you will get another email with your time slot. And time slots for move-in are specifically based on your location. So they're not random, they're based on traffic management. So you will be given a specific time slot that is assigned to your room and your room placement. That doesn't mean that you have to arrive that day. If that time slot doesn't work for you, you can go into the housing portal and you can select another time slot that works better for you. That is not a problem. And if you're late, if you're on the 401 and you're going to miss your time slot, that's okay too. There's lots of wiggle room in there. Just arrive as soon as you can on that day. Again, the time slot is for traffic management, but it's not a locked in time that you have to arrive within that 2-hour window. Also on the portal, you will get a personalized move-in map that helps you navigate into campus and will tell you where to arrive and how to get into the campus. Don't follow your GPS. If you are using a GPS system or Google Maps, don't follow that. Use your personalized move-in map, because we actually close off streets that are normally open on Google Maps, and we guide you into campus a different way that your GPS system will not know about. When you arrive on campus, there will be a huge welcoming crew. We have parking and orientation volunteers, OVs. Everyone will be wearing a Griffin t-shirt, so you'll know who to watch and who to look for. And we are here to support and guide you and welcome you to campus when you arrive. So packing for residents. It's never too early to get started because you may need some new things, and it's good to shop early, take advantage of sales. You will find a complete packing list on our website. I will post it to the chat so you can link directly to the packing list. It'll also be in our move-in guide. We suggest that you label all of your boxes with your last name and your room number. We have provided a box label on our website to make it easier for you to just print and stick the label on your boxes. Our orientation volunteers will help guide you and where to put things, and we have dollies. We have everything you need to move. And it's a fairly well-oiled machine for the move-in process. We are going to ask that you only bring 2 helpers. That just keeps the volume. Just bring 1 car and 2 helpers. You will need some help moving. Our orientation volunteers are amazing, but they're not going to move everything for you. So you will need some helpers to get your boxes moving. Fridges. Most of our students have fridges in their rooms, and you are welcome to bring your own fridge, and you are welcome to rent one from our service provider, Coldex. And again, the coordinates for Coldex are in our move-in guide that you'll be getting on Thursday. All of our beds are standard twin beds, with the exception of those who are assigned to Gordon Hall. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Gordon Hall. Gordon Hall is our biological science cluster this year. It is 160 students, and for the most part, all of those students are going to have queen beds in their rooms. So we'll let you know in the room assignment those students who will have queen beds, because you will need to get different sheets than those in other residences. What not to bring. Small appliances. We get a lot of questions about small appliances. And you won't need them for the most part. Things like we have a microwave in every kitchenette. Most of our residences that don't have a kitchen, East Village and East Residence being the exception, you can use small appliances in your suite, and you can bring toasters, that kind of thing. If you bring small appliances to our traditional residences where there are no kitchens provided, you will just need to use them in the kitchenette area, things like toasters and kettles. That's because our fire alarm system, our fire safety system, is so sensitive. If you try to make toast in your room, you will likely set off the fire alarm. Not a good idea. Your neighbors won't appreciate that. Don't bring pets on move-in day, except of course for service animals. Candles are not permitted in residence, and our O week is dry, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. So, you know, I've talked about more of the logistics and the administrative side of things. I'm going to turn it over to Adia now to focus a little bit more on all the information that I've given you and how you can turn your space into your new home.
Hello, everyone. So I am super excited for fall 23, and I believe everyone who's coming in fall is also excited as well. So I am an international student from India, and I lived in 2 residences the past year, and I have had the best experience living on campus. And some things and tips that I would like to give is personalize your room, bring stuff, bring photographs, bring wines, bring lights, and make it your own place. Knock on people's doors. That's what works. First day in residence, you have to go and talk to people, knock on them, attend events by your RA. So I'm soon going to be talking about the residence life staff. There's some live-in residence life staff and some other staff who are there to facilitate your move from move to university life. But the best thing I would say is talk to people, join clubs, go to different events that are hosted by your residence assistant, and talk to people. And if you need any support, there are a bunch of resources that I'll be talking about soon. Also, check out our Instagram. It's UFG Housing. We have a bunch of giveaways that are going on, and we have different contests that are always going on our housing page, which can help you connect more with us. And if you have any other questions, feel free to email us or call us, which we can plug into the chat soon. And one thing that I'd like to say is make sure that you are ready, and we are here to help and support and facilitate you. Now I'm going to talk a bit about our residence life staff. So when you move into residence, you will see RAs, people wearing red vests. There are about 150 live-in residence assistants who are living in your communities to facilitate your transition to university life. They can provide you support in different ways. You can help. You can connect with them, talk to them about different clubs that are available on campus, different events that they'll be hosting, community meetings. And I believe that it's a really good way to get in touch with the people that are living around you, make those friendships, grab a coffee with your RA, ask them how's it going. And they can also connect you with different resources available on campus, which are offered by our other campus partners, which can be wellness services or maybe the CSA. Anything that you need, I would say, ask your RA, they will know. We also have residence life managers. Residence life managers are managers which are there to facilitate the resident assistants and to make sure that you have the best experience living on campus. And now I'm going to hand over to Kiara, our amazing Interhall Council president, to tell you more about Orientation Week.
So hello everyone, I gave my introduction before, but I am just going to give a quick little spiel about residence as well. I lived in residence this year will be my 5th year living in residence. So I've lived in South Residence 3 times, and I've lived in East Village, and next year I'll be in Lennox Addington. For anyone who's wondering, I'm from Ottawa, so I used a full meal plan in my first year. I didn't go home on weekends or anything, so I was usually in residence 7 days a week, and I found that my full meal plan worked best for me. I did use just about all of it in my first year, and I just loved being in South with all of my friends that I've met. Most of my friends I've kept all through university, so yeah, and I met them in South residence, so I love South. I'll always rep South. A little bit about Interhall Council is we are the residence student government. We are student run. We were established in 1969, and I have been on Interhall Council all 5 years of my undergraduate degree. We advocate for students living in residence through many different avenues. We sit on a lot of committees. We help with advising staff and faculty on meal plans and facilities. So if you're ever looking for questions, definitely seek out your Interhall Council representatives. We also do lots of fun programming. You'll see us in orientation week. We'll be doing pep rally and silent disco, and you can email me if you're interested about more information on any of this. Some other stuff about O Week is this is where you're going to learn everything there is to know about being a university student. There'll be tons of people that are helping with programming, every single department, and student government will be participating. You'll learn about your classes from upper years. You'll go to fun events. You'll meet new people. It's definitely the best way to start your university experience, and it definitely starts it off with a bang. Some other campus resources that we have are also Safe Walk. So this is if you're ever alone on campus, you'll see tons of yellow posts around campus where you can press a button and a volunteer will walk you wherever you need to go, whether it's back to residence or to your car, just so you can feel safe. We also have walking clinics on campus in our JT Powell Athletic Center. There's a multi-faith resource team, in-house counselors, academic resources through the library, and also your student governments are always here to support as well. A little bit about life in residence. So House Calls, this is a nationally recognized program. So during stressful times, resident staff and sometimes Interhall Council will go door to door to check in on students, see how you're doing, make sure that the semester is going well, that you're going well with midterms, excited for exams, or ready for exams. No one's really excited for them. As well as there'll be tons of fun giveaways and stuff like that. Take a Pause is also something during the year. It's about every 2 weeks. We have therapy dogs come in. This is run through the hub in residence, which is where staff do programming for you. I'm also going to hand it over to Adia to talk more about some of the residence life specific programming.
Yes. So as I talked about different events, so your RAs will be hosting events weekly or every month where they'll have different things. It can be a movie night or a games night, which will act as a good de-stress thing for you from your classes. And as Kara said, Take a Pause is it's my favorite program. Therapy dogs come in, you get to spend time with them, pet them, and we have some really favorite dogs here now. And we have Rail. So Rail is an intramural league of there are different sports. The most famous one is dodgeball, and it is specific to residents. So different residences compete with each other to win the game, and at the end you get this really cool T-shirt and sometimes even a trophy. And it's really competitive and also makes a community-like feeling that you need while living in residence. So I'm going to hand back to Leanne to wrap things up.
Welcome back, everyone. We're on the tail end. This is just the beginning of the conversation. We've presented kind of the most frequently asked questions at this time, but we know over the course of the next month, you're going to have a lot more questions going forward. You can reach out to us in so many ways. We've got social media. Email us is the easiest way, and then we can we usually get back to you within 2 business days. Everything that we have talked about today is on our website, housing.uofguelph.ca. There's also a good old-fashioned phone call. If you visit our website, on the bottom right-hand corner, we have a live chat feature, so you can live chat with us any day of the week, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. And it's usually Adia on the other end of the chat. Or some of my other colleagues in residence admissions. So we'd love to chat with you as you have questions moving forward.
Leanne, there's just a few frequently asked questions in the chat. Do you mind if I ask you a few of them?
Absolutely. Let's go for an open Q&A. And if you do have questions, add them to the Q&A and we will address them. Thanks, Jenny, for moderating.
No problem. So a few folks are asking when can international students move in, specifically the folks that have registered for Start International, and that starts on August 29th.
Great question. If you are registered for Start International, you're automatically going to have a move-in date changed in our system for August the 28th, the day before Start International starts. If due to flights and travel arrangements, you need to come in before the 28th, you will have to fill out an early arrival request form. That will be on the portal once room assignments are released, and you have to tell us why you need that earlier date so that we can make sure your room is ready. We don't have our full-time desk staff or meals available until the 28th, so if you are arriving a few days early for travel reasons, you just be aware that we won't have all of our services up and running at that time.
Thanks, Leanne. A couple of folks are also wondering about the cars for move-in. So folks are saying that they are bringing their own car, and then is it okay for their, supporters or families to bring another car so that they have a way home?
Absolutely. That is not a problem, Jenny. Thanks for that question. If you're bringing your own car and you have to bring 2 cars, it's not a hard and fast rule. It's just a guideline to help us manage traffic. Once you've emptied your car of all your belongings, you can move your car over to one of the nearby parking lots and you can keep your car here on campus. Contact parking services in advance for a semester parking pass. parking.uaguelph.ca.
Wonderful. Thanks, Leanne. Another question about move-in. Is it a strict rule to only bring 2 helpers on move-in day? Some folks want to bring, their parents and a sibling as well.
That again is a guideline and it's not a hard and fast rule. We know that your family is an important part of your success here as you start your new life on campus, and you're absolutely able to bring more than 2 helpers. It's certainly not a hard fast rule. Your individual circumstances bring your family if they are your support team.
Wonderful. Another question is about guests. So are guests allowed from different universities?
Well, that's a great question for our future residence life staff. Adia, do you want to take this question?
Yes. So we have different guest policies that go on throughout the year. I believe during the move-in, we have no guest policy. That is during move-in periods, that is 1st, 2nd, and part of 30th of August. You're not allowed to have overnight guests, but I will attach our CLS, which is Residence Community Living Standards document, and you can read about our guest policies. There are different stages. The first stage is where there are no guests. The second stage is you can have an on-campus guest. And the third stage is where you can have an off-campus guest for, I believe, up to 3 nights. And the guest policy keeps on changing. I would say keep in touch with your RA and you would know what the guest policy is at that particular time throughout the semester.
Thank you, Adia. Another question is, are tiny kettles allowed in residence? I know we chatted about appliances earlier.
I can take this, yes. So appliances is a very trick question because I would say it depends where you're placed. Usually in our traditional residences, kettles are not allowed in the rooms, but all of the traditional residences, they have small kitchenettes where you can use your kettles. So I would say you can bring a kettle, don't use it in your room. You might trigger the fire alarm and your neighbors are not going to be happy about it. Use it in the kitchenette. But if you're in a residence which has a full kitchen, like East Village or East Towers, you can use kettles or small or even big appliances.
Wonderful. Thank you, Adia. Well, that is it for the residence presentation, and we appreciate everyone who's tuned in today to view the presentation, and we know you will still have lots of questions coming up as you continue to approach the fall, which is a very exciting time. So you can connect with housing at any of the ways above on the screen. Our session today is also going to be recorded and posted on startufg.ca. So if you have someone who couldn't make it, or maybe you want to rewatch and learn more about what opportunities are in residence or how to get involved with Interhall during a week, you can definitely do that as well. And if you have any general questions outside of kind of housing, but maybe it's about transportation, or I know we're still getting some questions about course selection, you can also email startufg or start@uoguelph.ca with any questions that you may have. But we wanted to say thank you for tuning in to the presentation, and we are very excited to welcome you in September. Bye, everyone.